Geographic information system, GIS, and remote sensing and GPS, various assorted type of questions. So let us start first. GIS stands for what? GIS stands for what? Geographic information system or any other? Any other you can guess? The answer is A. Geographical information system. Then GIS deals with which kind of data? It deals with numerical data, binary data, spatial data, or complex data. The answer is correct. You have guessed it right. It deals with the spatial data. Next question is, which of the following statements is true about the capabilities of GIS? Data capture and preparation, data management including storage and maintenance, data manipulation and analysis, data representation. So the answer would be E. This is 5 means E. Okay, the answer is all of the above. By spatial data we mean data that has complex graphical decimal. Are they called it spatial data? The answer is positional value because by spatial data we mean that we are talking about the positional value. Spatial data is equivalent to the positional value. We say the coordinate of this point is this, the location, the distance is this. So these are the or the size of this any object. So the positional values we are talking about. What is a metadata? It is so these are 4 options for you. No, I hope that you are going to give the correct answer. The answer is, of course, what you have chosen. The answer is data about data. So metadata is nothing but the meta about the data. That is, you have data. Say you have 20. Now what this 20 represent? You don't know it. Now if I add that age is what this number portrays or presents. So this age becomes the metadata of this number. Key components of spatial data quality include what? Positional accuracy, temporal accuracy, lineage and completeness, logical consistency. Now give me the answer. The answer is, you guessed it correct. Answer is the 5th one, all of the above. So spatial data, when we are talking about spatial data quality, we are talking about the positional accuracy. We are talking about the time variation or temporal accuracy. We are talking about the completeness and lineage. We are also talking about the consistency with respect to logical sense. It has to be consistent. So logical consistency is also part of quality determination of spatial data. Next question is, spatial database are also known as. These are options for you. So what will be the answer? Spatial databases, they are called as geodatabase. See, when you're working, if you are a GIS person, then you must be knowing the ArcGIS SE product. In that, when you make a database, the database name is itself called as a geodatabase, right? So spatial database is known as the geodatabase. I'm just saying about the software, but actually in theory also spatial database is known as the geodatabase. Next question is, successful spatial analysis needs. Successful spatial analysis needs. Now, what it needs? Appropriate software, appropriate hardware, competent user. So, will it be all of the above? Yes, you guessed it right. It will be all of the above. Next question is, which of the following is related to GIS? Now, these are the options: Euclidean space, Ramanujan space, Pythagorean space. None of the above. The answer is Euclidean space. When we talk about a distance, x1, y1, x2, y2, what we do? We find the distance. So Euclidean space, we do it on the Euclidean space. Euclidean space is the correct answer. Next is, a geographic field is a geographic phenomena for which? For every point in the study area. These are 4 options for you. A field is a geographic phenomena for which, for every point in the study area, a value can be determined. A value cannot be determined. A value is not relevant. A value is missing. The answer is, a value cannot be. A value can be determined. This is the correct answer. You guessed it right. This is the first option for you. Next question is, the following are the example of geographic fields. So, what air temperature, is it a geographic field? The answer is D actually. All of the above. Air temperature, barometric pressure, elevation, all are the geographic fields, right? Because whenever we are talking about a geography, it includes the temperature. You can represent it as a in a GIS you can represent it using some thematic map also, some interval values. So all these are examples of geographic fields only. It is not only that elevation or length and breadth are the only geographic fields. Which of the following statements are true? These are options for you. Now tell me the answer. Which of the following statements are true? The answer, you guessed it right. Both of these are true. Natural phenomena are usually fields and man-made phenomena are usually objects. Natural phenomena, fields; man-made phenomena, objects. Next is, fields can be what? We have seen just in the previous question. Fields can be, the answer is C. They can be discrete also, they can be continuous also. As you have seen in the previous question, the natural phenomena are usually fields. So field can be either, say, continuous, or they can be discrete. Example of continuous fields. Now, if you are talking that, or you have guessed it right, that it is discrete as well as continuous, what will be the example of continuous field? The answer is all of the above, because air temperature can be continuous, barometric pressure can be continuous, soil salinity, elevation can be continuous. All of them are examples of continuous fields. Now you can make them discrete always. You can choose. You can just take some special values with some delta x difference. Which of the following is true about discrete fields? Discrete fields. So these are the options for you. Please read them very carefully and try to give me the answer. Which of the following is true about the discrete fields? The answer, you guessed it right. It is all of the above. Discrete fields divide the study space in mutually exclusive bounded parts with all location in one part having the same field value. Land classification is an example of discrete fields. Discrete fields make use of the bounded features. So answer is D, all of the above. Next is, which of the following is true about nominal data values? Nominal data values. Options are here. Read them very carefully and answer them. The answer is again all of the above. Why? Because nominal data values, they are values that provide a name or identifier so that we can discriminate between different values. First of all, true computation cannot be done with these values, nominal data values. When the values assigned are sorted according to some set of non-overlapping categories, they become the categorical values or data. Now next question is, which of the following is true about ordinal data values? Ordinal data values. We have just seen the nominal data values. Now ordinal means in some certain order. So what will be the answer for you? The answer is both A and B. Why? Because they are date values or data values. Make it data that can be put in some natural sequence, but that do not allow any other type of computation. An example of ordinal data values is classifying household income as low, average, and high. So these both are correct. Which of the following is true about internal data values? Internal data values. So the answer again, you are guessing it right. The answer is all of the above, because they are quantities in that they allow simple forms of computation like addition and subtraction. They do not support multiplication and division, and centigrade temperatures are internal data values. So these are the quantities. They allow simple forms of computation like just addition and subtraction. They do not support multiplication and division. Now, which of the following is true about ratio values? Ratio values. So options are here for you. Read them very carefully and try to answer. The answer, you guessed it right, because all of the above is the correct answer, because ratio data values, they allow most, if not all, forms of arithmetic computation. Multiplication and division of values are possible. They have natural zero values also. Continuous fields can have ratio data values. Next is, which of the following is true? 4 options. Read them and try to answer. Which of the following is true? The answer is again all of the above, because the nominal and categorical data values are referred to as qualitative data. Internal ratio data are known as quantitative data. Ordinal data refers to the ranking scheme, because this is in order, or some kind of some hierarchical phenomena. Next is, interpolation is made possible by a principle called interpolation. We have 2 words, interpolation and extrapolation. You try to find out certain internal values from 2 values which are given. So it is made possible by the principle called spatial autocorrelation. Spatial autocorrelation. Next, the fundamental principle, which refers to the fact that locations that are close together are more likely to have similar values than locations that are far apart, is known as, answer? Give me the answer. The answer is Tobler's first law of geography. Tobler's first law of geography. This says that the locations that are close together are most likely to have similar values than locations that are far apart. This is Tobler's first law of geography. Now we have taken these two. Next is a dash is a set of regularly spaced and contiguous. Contiguous means one by one, after one another. Regularly spaced cells with associated field values. The associated values represent cell value. This is not call, this is cell value. Not point values. This means that the value for a cell is assumed to be valid for all location within the cell. So what are these? A dash is a set of regularly spaced cell with associated field values. Are you guessing raster? The associated value represent a cell, not point values. This means that the value for a cell is assumed to be valid for all location within the cell. The answer is correct. You are guessing it right. Raster, like the image is a raster. Elevation is a raster. Which of the following is true? So you have four options for you. Try to read them and try to answer. The answer is correct. You have got it right. The answer is C. Third one. Tessellation partitions or partition the study space into cells and assign a value to each cell. A tessellation means you have triangle, right? These two triangle. You increase the tessellation, you make more triangle. You decrease this tessellation, you make one triangle out of it. So you are actually doing what this has been said. A raster is a regular tessellation with square cells. Yes, this is also correct. So both A and B are true. Tin stands for tin. These are four options for you. And I am guessing that you are going for the B option, that is the second option. And if you are going for it, the answer is correct. It is triangulated irregular network, tin. Often used for DEM representation. Which of the following is true about Delaunay triangulation? Delaunay triangulation. Now these are options for you. Now please answer them. Which is the correct answer? And you got it right. Both A and B. The triangles are equilateral. They can be as equilateral as they can be. And for each triangle, the circle through its anchor point does not contain any other anchor point. Both of these are correct. The boundary model is sometimes also called as the boundary model. What is the correct answer? The boundary model is sometimes also called as A. Yes, topological data model. Boundary model is sometimes also called as topological data model. Which of the following relationships is correct? Point, zero simplex, line, triangle, tetrahedron. The answer is all of the above. Point 0, line 1 simplex, triangle 2 simplex, tetrahedron 3 simplex. Which of the following belongs to 8 spatial relationship? 8 spatial relationship. So these are the options for you. Please read them. Try to answer. Which of the following belongs to the 8 spatial relationship? The answer is correct. Disjoint means equals, inside covered by, contain cover overlaps. All of the above are 8 spatial relationships. Which of the following statements are true about the temporal dimension? Temporal dimension. So we have now 6 options for you. And please read them and try to answer. The answer is correct. You got it right, all of the above. Time can be measured along a discrete or continuous scale. Valid time, that is a world time, is a time when an event really happened or a string of events took place. Time can be considered to be linear, extending from past to the present, now and into the future. And when measuring time, we speak of granularity as the precision of a time value in a GIS or database. And time can be represented as absolute and relative. So all of these are correct, right?